Okay, so there was this guy that wanted he realized that he was going to get his tooth extracted, and then I went with him to lunch. He was eating lunch, and then Charlie and I were joking with him that it was going to be his last supper. And then we got into like, oh, you better eat it up. Like, this is your last meal. Like, for a while, you're not gonna be able to. No, we were just like decided that he was going to pretty much die with his tooth extracted. So he was. We were joking, and then everybody was like, "What are you talking about?" And then Spanish speakers kind of start piling up with us, so we make kind of our little posy there. It's really fun. Yeah. At the end, I saw him. I went with him to his extraction, and I prayed with him outside, and exchanged information. So we developed a really nice friendship. Just temporary friendship, but I'm hoping to call him for sometime next week just to catch up. He's from somewhere in Spokane, Tri-Cities, I think. So that's it.
I think the biggest part of my day was just knowing that even though I may not actually interact directly with the guests, I knew that I was in some small way going to be able to help. Even if, just helping the volunteers to help the guests. And that was cool.
I agree with you. That's how I felt.
I mean, it was just like, there wasn't a whole lot here for a blind person to do, but that's okay because I could do what I could, and that worked.
So, this is a story of mutual transformation in between a volunteer and a guest, and I'm leading the interpreters team, and we really only had Spanish interpreters with us today, and I just was thinking, well, Lord, He'll provide, and we'll have what we need for whatever languages pop up. And just in the middle of the morning, a friend of mine, a teenage girl, comes running up to me and says, "And I was able to translate." And I thought, oh yeah, because this friend is Ethiopian and speaks Amharic, but she hasn't spoken Amharic in 7 years or 8 years or how long she's been in the United States, and she hasn't used it at all. But today she was able to use that Amharic to help a family who was lost and to help them find their family in a different part of the school, which was very busy and very confusing during the mid-morning when it was a little bit chaotic. And so she was able to help them find their way around, and she too was also able to utilize this language that she had kind of lost. And it was really miraculous to see a transformation in her and in the guest, who really felt loved and cared for by this girl who could understand her and help her get where she needed to go. And I was really grateful because I felt like the Lord really provided for us and just the interpreters team and the group as a whole in the whatever language we needed. There was somebody to interpret for that. So
cool.
Yeah.
Any other highlights or any other stories?
Yeah. Let's see here. There's another story. So the only 3 languages that we needed interpreters for today, to my knowledge, were Amharic, Spanish, and Vietnamese. And it just so happened that we had an Amharic person to speak Amharic, and we had a Vietnamese woman who's here to translate for Spanish, but she also speaks Vietnamese natively, and so she was able to translate for a couple that needed Vietnamese translation. So I felt very blessed that we had exactly what we needed for the population. I also got to meet some really neat ladies that are from the same hometown that my husband's from in Mexico. And that was neat to be able to talk to them more familiarly, as I'm not Hispanic, but we were able to speak in Spanish about their hometown and their homeland and the culture there, and it was neat. It seemed like the first time in a long time that they've had a chance to talk to somebody about their home and what they love about that, and so it was really a blessing for me too to get to know more about their home.